In this video today, I'm going to show you how we use labels and formats in Google Sheets query function. So we do, and these labels and formats, the labels are used to change the names of our headers. And the formatting will be used to format our values in these different cells. So to get started, we have a query function here, which takes in our data, which is this one here. Control Shift down, select A, B, C, and D minus E. Close my brackets. Have one header, like so. Now, when I do that, you can see the data that is returned. I have the date, the name, the store, and the first. Now, this is not a very good name. It is taking the sales minus the cost of sales, which should be the profit. In case we need to give it name profit, so we go in here, and after our query function, and by the way, we can change any of these labels. For example, date, I'll say you first type label, then date is A, then whatever you want to call A, new date, sales date, like so. I do that, and there you go. This one becomes sales date. B, I want B to be called sales agent. So so if I want to change this name to sales agent, all I have to do, put a comma here, then the name is in column B. So this column B is being renamed, then I put in single quotes sales. So when I do so you can see sales date, sales agent, store, and the rest. Now, when we come to this one here, it has in it D minus E. E is the sales minus E, which is the cost of sales. So I also want to rename that, and the way we do that is we state the column the way it is here, and our column here is D minus E, then in single quotes, the name that we want to give it, maybe I'll call it gross profit. Gross profit, like so. So when you do that, you can see it renames it to gross profit. So this is how we can use the labels to rename our columns. Now let's look at a more interesting example. So I can say if I want to get a summary per store, select stores in column C, then sum of our sales are in column D. Then I need to group by the stores. So when I do that, you can see we get the word sum up here and the summary right down here. Now, again, we can rename this, put label. Now, our column, we can't use D, but we use sum D, which is that. Then we, in single quotes, we give it a name. And in this case, these are cells. So when you do that, you can see that it is renamed. So if you want to rename the stores as well, just put a comma. Stores is in column C. Then in single quotes, give a name stores, like so. So this is how we can rename our columns into what we want. Now you can also say, can we get the profit here for each of these stores? Yes, we could. And we're gonna do it as sum sales is in D, sum of D minus sum of E. So this is how you do it. And then again, you can see the name here is not very friendly. Maybe let's bring in the cost as well. You say sum cost in E, like so. So that we get all the figures here. This minus this, we get that. This minus this, we get that. Now this name is not friendly. We can adjust this as well and this one as well. So, and to name this sum E, you copy the column name as sum E, come put a comma, then give it a name. This is our costs, then comma, sum D minus sum E, put it there in single quotes. This is our profit. So we have the store, sales, cost, and profit. This is how you can rename the columns to what you want. In the next example, I'm gonna do some formatting. I'll say query. I pick my data set here, comma, select the store, C, comma, sum of sales, which is in D, comma, sum of cost, which is in E, comma, then sum of sales, D minus sum of cost, like so. And then we are gonna group by C. In your quotes, we have one header and close our brackets. There you go. And we said before, we can give labels, label C. What do we label C? We are going to label it store in cap, comma. Then you don't need to use label again, but we go to the next column. Our next column is sum D. Say sum D. Then we label it as sales, comma, sum D. Then we label it as in single quotes as costs. Then comma, then we have sum D minus sum E, and we label this as our profit. I had repeated sum D, so this one should be sum E, like so, and there we go. Now, after achieving this, we may want to format our data here. So format our cells. So we go towards the end here and say format. And what are we formatting? The column is sum D. Then in single quotes, how do we want to format this? So you need to have that number formatting, like so. We want to put commas, and you can see the commas come right here. Now, if you want to format this as well, we go back. Let me copy this. Then I put the comma there. So the next one is sum E, and then the format of sum E. Then comma, we have the next column is sum D minus sum E. And how do we want it formatted? We have to put the pipe symbol like that. And by the way, you can also add the $sign like so. And then you see that it appears here. So this is how you can format your data in when you use the query function. There are more interesting formats that I can demonstrate here also using the date. So if I run my query again using this sorted data set, comma, I select my date in column A, maybe the name in B, store in C, and sales in D. If I do that, comma, one header, this is what I get. But I may want to format this date. So I go at the end here and say format. Date is in column A, format A, and how then in single quotes, you indicate how you want it to be formatted. So MM is month dash date, or we can say date dash month dash year. Press enter. There you go. You get it in this format. If I change this to 3, then it's going to bring the month, 3 letters of the month. If I want 4 letters of the year, I just change it like that. So you can play around with this. If you want the date, maybe dash 1, 2, 3, 4. The date in full, you could do that as well, and brings the date like so. So you can play around with this as long as you know the number formatting, and it will work fine. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been helpful. Please subscribe if you have not, and see you in the next video.